Done.
So the first little test, you can see here, this is just the first impression of high pressure washing, and this is just slimy stuff. So whatever anti-folding they have been using, it's actually pretty good. Some on the propeller, there's some on some of the metals, so we'll see.
If you are one of those that want to skip the shower and go straight for the hole, you are welcome to skip to the last bit. For the rest of you, this episode will feature tons of pressure washing porn and a grand tour of the interior. There is a huge metal plate slapped onto the starboard side by one of the previous owners. At some point it needs to be removed, and the problem it was meant to fix needs to be properly taken care of. But I bought a boat to have it on water, or I guess under water, not on land. And this is currently not on the "it's burning" or top 5 reasons why we are sinking list. So it might have to wait its turn for the next time she's on the hard. Glimt has the most amazing copper plating. This makes her a small icebreaker. I love it. But it might have to be removed to properly fix the leaks. In the middle of the boat there is a large cargo hole. Our first thought was to make some permanent living quarters here, but we soon realized that this room is what makes the boat closer to a pickup truck than a dedicated camper. So except from a new door and some soundproofing to the engine room, we decided to keep this room as it is. There are 2 extra long and wide beds, and with the hatch down we can still stand normal. A perfect room for fish, bicycles, sleeping and storage. If you have a boat today, I guess you would be happy to have 4 cubic meters of general storage. For you Americans, that's like 140 cubic feet, or 40,000 Big Macs. We are now in the Wheelhouse. Not much to say here, that's not obvious. But some fun fact. The lowered floor was done by the previous owner that was a bit taller than us. He kept banging his head in the roof, so one day he brought his welder and an angle grinder and lowered the floor. The small lid covers a hole down to the engine room. We guess that the exhaust pipe used to go here before, something that would be nice during the winter season to get some heat up in the Wheelhouse. We plan to keep this more or less as it is, just cleaning it, sanding it, priming and painting it. Welcome to the engine room. I guess you've seen this in a couple of episodes before, but it is located in the stern of the boat, under the Wheelhouse. Here we plan to move the exhaust a bit, so we have the option to install a toilet. We also want to improve the areas affected by rust and paint it white to make it a little bit brighter. We are now in the front cabin, or the stateroom if you want to be fancy. If you watched the Christmas special episode, that was kind of from the future. You could see that we added some benches and some plates to go between the benches. So you could sleep 2 adults and 2 small kids here with ease.
Could you been upstairs like sleeping or something?
Yeah, I would take a break.
And that concludes the grand tour. So let me show you some dirty holes. The thing is that all the water we used for washing the inside of the boat had to go somewhere. We found 4 quite huge holes, 2 on the starboard and 2 on the port side. They were big enough to continuously drain the boat while we pressure washed it. So fixing those holes will make a huge difference.
Found it. Boat is sink. No. What's it doing when it leaks on shore?
Martin! Åssen er det jo ikke? Her kan det ikke være bra. Oops.
The rest of the hull looks surprisingly good, and we need to decide if we want to recaulk the entire hull or not. But that is for another episode. Above the waterline there are also a couple of planks that needs to be replaced. I have never changed a plank on a boat before, so I guess that will be easy. You could argue that those holes do not qualify for the top 5 reasons for sinking list, since they are above water. But if we do start to sink, those holes, especially the one right above the copper plating, will quickly become the main reason for sinking. So I will spend some time watching how Leo put some planks on tally-ho, and I guess we will do it the way he would have done it if he was drunk and blindfolded. That's all for this episode. See you in a bit.
It was so dark that warm summer night. I much prefer it to the bright blue light. I feel the need to say I'm so glad I found you.
Billig gorilla.
I'll write to you with ink from a pen. Feel the weight as the words sink in.
So that's all we had time for in this episode. Please subscribe and...
Hva skal jeg si for noe? Jeg må si en eller annen, dette er alternativet for. Please subscribe. Sier det ut.